matching hundreds. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native, Oregon Duck product. Of course, that's Marcus Mariota.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And here now the Baltimore offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The first down carry here for Johnson. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards.
Level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. The kick by Lambeau is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, #1 versus #1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to play.
Jeez, you are fired up. Something's got to give. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Check.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
You got that right. He's checking. Crash.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On 3rd down, Mariota going top shelf for Smith-Schuster, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. These two teams all tied after one. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Throw left side, complete to Ross. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Murray. He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. Austin Eckler, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now Mariota. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
54 Mike. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Mariota's pass complete to Juju Smith-Schuster.
After review of the play,
they had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
52's the mark, boys. 52.
Now Murray off play action. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Complete to Zay Jones. A gain of 1 brings up third down and 9.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
58 for Mike, 58.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. He's got his man here. It's Green. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Rush in, rush in.
They'll run on 1st down. Bullard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The veteran Jason McCourty there to make sure that one didn't find its target.
You know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special one out there handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get it.
It's 2nd down now. Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 31, Mariota. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 43. Mariota.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Mariota again. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Eckler. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Mariota now. He gets it left side to Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Bengals grab it.
You bet. That's our ball. Our ball.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. A final shot before half from Murray. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where you see the final score there. 24-6 was the final score. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. The Saints trying to create some separation early on as they look to make it 7 straight to start the year. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Matthew Stafford's thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Ross. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Check nickel.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Geno Atkins got home that time. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Mike 52. And watch the leg. Mike 52. Rabbit.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ross. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Here's Mariota. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now here's Ross. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second and 12, Murray. The left side completion to Jones. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Murray now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Running on first down, Eckler. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. It's Eckler again. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. On first down, they go option to the right. And some space here. And inside the 20 before. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Bullard. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3.
Let's go, defense.
And now Murray's going to set up the throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
You better bring. Check 24. Check go.
Shotgun now for Murray. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Kyler Murray, touchdown number 18 on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Mariota. Smith catches left side. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Ross on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that.
And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. And that will be incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team.
Pressure comes and it's blocked. The Ravens block it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. in for the score, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right. Murray fighting, lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Oh, now Murray has it stripped, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll run on first down. Johnson, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Murray now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Murray. On the screen, this is Eckler. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touch. Murray fighting. Lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
To throw is Mariota. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. To throw Mariota. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Mariota to throw it. He's got his tight end, Burton. And down inside the 15 he goes. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Trey Burton, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. They have the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the Sharks. They descend
under pressure, and they got to him again. Geno Atkins getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had it in there trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Murray. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Well, both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Again, it's Johnson. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
They don't want. Keep playing hard.
third and short yardage. Mariota got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marcus Mariota with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Share, share. Hayward.
Throwing again on second down. Murray. Green's got it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. This will be caught at about the 5. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They're going for it. It's Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Ravens are going to get the football back.
Check three.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check.
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They run. It's Johnson going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Ravens, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.